Alright, today we're going to be hiking the Whispering Pines Trail at Hawn State Park. I see a lot of people recommending Hawn State Park for people's first backpacking trips, and I highly recommend it. Just some things you need to know before you come out here. That all backcountry camping is by permit only. You can do that by going to icampmo.com and you can get your permit there. They'll send you an email confirmation. They'll leave a little 3-tab card hanging on your campsite number. That's me at number 3. You fill that out. One goes in the little box there in the bottom corner. One goes with you, and one hangs on the number. There's also maps there. There's the maps there for you can take. There's the campsites listed around there. There's 10 different ones that you can choose from. And then from here, we're going to head to the trailhead. It's just right here. Okay, from up here on that bluff, you're going to come to the first connector. And you can actually take this white connector. It's white connector 3. You can see it up there on that tree there. You can actually take that to the back loop if you want and shorten it up. From the trailhead to the back loop is about a mile. And that white connector will also take you to campsite 4. So there's a shortcut there if you want. Okay, from up here on that bluff, you're going to come to the first connector. And you can actually take this white connector. It's white connector 3. You can see it up there on that tree there. You can actually take that to the back loop if you want and shorten it up. From the trailhead to the back loop is about a mile. And that white connector will also take you to campsite 4. So there's a shortcut there if you want. Alright, we're coming up to the first creek crossing. There's two decent sized creek crossings that you have to make on the Whispering Pines Trail, and this is the first one. The water's down pretty low today, so it won't be too bad. The other one's just a little bit wider. I don't think it's quite as deep. Alright, I'm going to put the phone away so I don't drop it in the water. Alright, we made it across the creek. Once you get up here to the top, you'll come to the Pickle Creek trailhead. This will take you right back to the parking lot if you want. I can't remember how far it is. It's not that far back though. If you want to just make a shortcut back to your car, you can take it right there. But we're going this way. And just so you know, when you start coming down those bluffs before you get to the creek crossing, it starts transitioning from a sandstone to granite. So at the very top of that, you'll start seeing some granite. Then when you come down to the creek, it's just about all granite. So be careful, because when granite's wet, it's very slick. You can walk on sandstone okay, but granite gets tough, so just be careful. Alright, we're at White Connector number 1. So White Connector number 1 will take you over to the White Oaks Trail. And you can actually make a loop out of this and come back on Connector number 2, which will bring you out right by Campsite 2. We're getting close to Campsite 1, and I'll show it to you when we get there. And this is the same creek we crossed back there with the rocks. It's just kind of neat how Pickle Creek transitions from rocks to a sandy base, back to rocks. Just kind of does its own thing. It's really neat. You know you're getting close to Campsite 1 when you see that big cave. It's right up here. All 10 campsites have fire rings. I think this one's pretty nice. It's not that far in, about a mile and a half or so in. So it's pretty easy to get to. It's a good one to start with if you're looking for your first overnighter. It's not too far from the car. Close to water, nice flat spot for tents, lots of trees to hang a hammock. So you can try it out. Campsite 2 is actually up on top there. You have to go up to the number 2 White Connector and turn right and go up the White Connector 100 yards or so, and then you'll come to the sign that'll point you up to Campsite 2. Alright, this is the white connector number 2. And this will actually, you have to get off of Whispering Pines to go to campsite number 2. You have to go up the white connector. So it'll be just a little bit up here, and then the trail will be on the right. So you just follow this little trail up. Campsite 2 is a little more secluded. There's usually water in the creek down there that's right on the connector trail. And then there's Pickle Creek, which is, I don't know, 100 yards from camp, so it's not that far from water. But this is campsite number 2. Alright, now we're back to the Whispering Pine Trail. So, here in a second we'll have the second big creek crossing. This is where you cross. Alright, here's the turn off for campsite 3, my home for the night. It's a little ways back there. I'll show it to you when we get there. Alright, this is campsite 3. It's nice. It's tucked back in the woods a ways. There's a small creek runs right here that actually drains into Pickle Creek, just, I don't know, 20, 30 yards down that way. All right, we've made it to where connector number 3 comes out on the West Spring Pine Trail. Comes up from there, head down that way. That will take you to campsite 4. Campsite 4 is up on top of a hill. It's kind of a big open area, lots of pine trees, lots of flat spots, just no water. So you have to carry all your water in. All right, we're going to keep going up this way, and we're going to go up on top of this hill, and that'll be the highest point in the park. And I believe those are fossilized macropod tracks left in the sandstone. All right, now we're coming up to where the South Loop joins up. And down this loop we will find campsites 5, 6, 7, and 8. It will come out, you could probably almost see it, I think, in the wintertime, where the South Loop will join back into the North Loop just down that way. It's not that far away, maybe 150 yards or so. We're going to go back this way on the South Loop. A couple of things I forgot to mention in the beginning was that yesterday was Earth Day. We need more people like John Muir. That's all I'm saying. The other thing is there is no more dispersed camping at Hawn. So you do have to have a permit, and you have to camp at one of the 10 campsites. With spring coming in, the campsites fill up quick. The permits, by the way, are free. They don't cost you anything. You just have to go online at icampmo.com and fill out the little thing, and it'll email you a permit. But this place fills up fast. There's been times where I've tried to get a certain campsite and it was 2 or 3 weeks out. So try to plan way ahead. You know, at least try to figure out, I would say at least 2 weeks to a month out if you're going to plan on coming out here to get your permits. Because this is a busy place. During the spring, summer, and fall, there was times last year where the gates were shut where you couldn't even get in to just even day hike. So keep that in mind. That over there is campsite 5. Nice. Alright, here is campsite 6. Sorry I couldn't show you more of 5, but somebody was staying there. That down there is the River of Osses, and we are coming up to the Scenic Loop. So if you make it back this far, I highly recommend you take the time to walk back here. It's not very far back. It's maybe a quarter mile or so all the way back and then back to this point again. So I mean a quarter mile total there and back. So if you get this far, you should come back here. It's pretty amazing. I'll show you. Okay, about a couple hundred yards in on the Scenic Loop, you'll come to a Y. I recommend going to the right. For some reason, I do everything counterclockwise. I don't know why, I just do. So, the way we're coming in, you're going to come into a great big open power line clearing here. And this is the little loop. And this area back here is one of my favorite places. Still finding a few remaining fiddleheads. Here we are at campsite 7. Alright, here we are at campsite 8. Okay, I'd like to talk about trash. If you pack it in, pack it out. That's the leave no trace principles. You bring it in, you take it out with you. Every time I come out here, I always find aluminum foil and other trash in the fire rings. Number one, aluminum foil does not burn. It is metal. So it's going to be there forever until somebody picks it up. The other thing is you don't want to be burning your trash in the fire rings anyway, because it attracts animals. I don't know if you've ever hiked anywhere or backpacked anywhere where you will actually have animals that will eat their way into your tent or into your backpack to get to your food, but it is no fun. I've been places where you have to have rat sacks to stop animals from getting your food, and it's rough. You have to hang your food. So here in Missouri, we have bears. The bear population is increasing. The last thing we want is to be asking bears, raccoons, and squirrels to come into our camp for food. So keep your trash in a Ziploc bag so they can't smell it. Put it in your food bag and hang your food in a tree. There's plenty of videos to show you how to do different hangs. I use a PCT hang myself. That's the one I prefer. And that will help. The other thing is food scraps on the trail. I always find orange peels and apple cores and banana peels out here. Nothing wants your food scraps. I know it's biodegradable, but it didn't come from Missouri, and it definitely didn't grow here, so take it out with you. Please. They're just going to be here until someone picks them up. The last thing about the trash is that at state parks, there is no one who gets paid to go around and pick up after you. If you drop trash on the trail, it will be there until someone voluntarily picks it up and takes it out with them. So please, if you bring trash in, take it out with you. Thank you. Leave no trace. Alright, we are at the end of the south loop here. We are now getting back onto the north loop that we walked in over there, maybe 100. Oh, actually, you can see the signs over there. If you look right in the center, you'll see the sign. So it's not even, what, 50 yards over there to the where we went into that loop. So now we are back on the north loop. And I don't know, we got 3, 4, maybe 5 miles left, and we'll be back to the truck. All right, we are at campsite 9. And it's a little bit of a walk back to this one, so I'll edit some of it out. All right, this is campsite 9. I remember I think it was the very first time I was here. I ended up going down that trail there. I have no idea where that goes, but I missed those markers. The trail goes up there. So that's where we got to go. I'm going to turn this phone off. You don't need to hear me grunting all the way up. All right, campsite 10. This is the last one. And it's a ways back here also, so I'll show it to you when I get there. And here is campsite 10. Alright, once you get to the northeast corner of the loop, you'll start seeing the campground up ahead over there. And then you've got one more big climb to make. And that should be the last big climb. Then you'll kind of walk on the upper side of Pickle Creek down there. There's the campground, people camping. You'll walk up across the top, and here in a little bit we'll be at the trailhead. Alright, well, we're about done. We're getting close to the bridges that'll take us back out to the parking lot. A couple of quick thoughts is this is not an easy hike. It's been, I think, a little over 12 miles so far. So I'm probably going to end up right around 13 miles walking miles. There's a lot of rocky areas, steep ascents, steep declines. The granite can be wet. If it is, it's slippery. It can be cold at night. Any of the camps that are in the low areas get really cold at night, and same way with the ones. Camp 7 is up on top of a hill. One night up there, it got really windy. It was one of the coldest nights I spent out here. So, if you come out here, enjoy it. It's a beautiful area. It's one of my favorite places in Missouri. Just remember, cut toothbrushes, not switchbacks. Leave no trace. See you guys.